Okay. I was just doing my announcements. So, hello VOD viewers of the future. I was going to try and see if I can crack on with this collision detection thing that I've been putting off for a while. I'm currently thinking about where to start. We can start by showing this is where we were at the end of last stream. Got a game that, you know, you can zoom in and out of, it generates a world, it's very fancy. But there's no collision, right? So we're going to work on that today. And obviously we could just crack on with it in like 1 second and say, draw like a box around every one of these tiles, but that I think is going to be very expensive in this kind of map, so we need to be more careful than that. And I remember having a convo with Donut a few months ago where he drew me like a little graph of how to get started. And I wanted to have a look. It was quite a while ago. Here we go. Exponentials. Okay. I'm just, I'm having a look through our DMs. Let's have a look. Was I just going to have like a collision system? I wrote this. This is just being used right now for, I think colliding with bullets. So I need to write something like this for colliding with like walls. I'm just having a look to see what our notes said. I can't quite find it. Oh, I keep forgetting. I should add I'm GUI, the like library for doing UI stuff. I keep forgetting. Let me just type in collision. Maybe this was ages ago. I thought we had like a little MS Paint conversation, but I don't fully remember. Oh no, we did. Okay. How do I show this on screen? Can I like paste this somewhere? No, that doesn't work. Can I just drag it in maybe? Oh, that works. Alright. So Donut sent this to me, which is I can use for describing to these VOD viewers. And also to myself, so I've kind of forgotten about this. The idea is we're going to have a lot of solid objects, and we're going to have our player. And we need to know how to check for collisions, when to check for collisions, and how to resolve them. Yeah. And he's got some, actually, it's pretty nicely labeled. I think we had like some conversation about this. He actually written a huge chunk of code for me, which I'd like to see how far I can get without it. I have a feeling I didn't even start implementing this yet. What state was my level generation system in right now? Forget. Yeah, we're gonna do this. What's a map? A map's made up of chunks. Chunks are made up of tiles. Tiles are just a U8 vec2. Oh yeah, this weird X macro. I remember this. I completely forgot about this. Okay. Oh yeah, my response to him, he said, "Did you get through the collision stuff?" And I said, "No, I had a big bubble bath." That's very funny. Got a message. What's this? Oh, it's Chris. Oh, I jumped between tabs and now it's forgotten where it was. Here we go. I'm just having a read. Pure yes-no collision should be as simple as doing a get tile on the tile the player sprite is overlapping and seeing if it's solid. Complicated part is collision resolution, knowing what to do with the knowledge that you're colliding. I think for now I'm going to keep it simple. You can do like calculations to see if, based on the current velocity, the player would go through an object to help resolve the issue that if you go really fast you can go through a thin wall. I'm gonna not bother with that right now. Hey Rob. I'm just gonna see if I can do some basic detection. Let me have a look. Yeah, I guess the game is also checking 60 times a second. Yeah, we had a long conversation about this. Circle's intuitive. Yeah, he drew this other diagram which I can show you as well, which is nice. This was nice of him. So you have your player with some coordinate in the middle. They see that they're colliding with these walls, they're moving in some certain direction, and you have to resolve. They've got some velocity, they've got some collisions, how far they would be penetrating into the wall. And he's got a little maths for me, which is nice. Need to produce the largest penetration vector. You calculate it for every colliding tile and pick the largest one. This won't work with concave corners, so this might not quite work. I think what his idea with this was, you see the players colliding with a bunch of walls, and you can see that he's colliding most with this one, so you resolve based on the highest collision. You can sort them by distance as well, so you can check to see all walls within the player's hitbox, and then sort that list by distance. Maybe? A circle or sorting by shortest contact distance is equivalent to sorting by... Yeah. So having I'm using the player here as a circle. Just doing a simple distance check is actually also the same as doing a check for the deepest penetration level. Oh look. He updated it. If I can get this somehow into this... Here we go. No, that's not quite it. One moment. Here we go. I guess I had the same file name. Nice little bit of pseudocode. So you can have a list of contact points. For every tile that you could be colliding with, you check to see if it is a collidable tile. Oh, this is even simpler than I thought. So if it is collidable, point A, point B normal. If you try to generate a normalized, how would you say this is? Like a line? Point A, point B. You have some function. Box. What's this? Okay. So I think this generates all the contact points. I'm supposing. You do with a dot product. This is nice. I'm not very good with maths, so it's nice to have this sort of thing written down. For every contact point, penetration depth equals whatever the deepest one is. If it's larger than 0, then move the player away from the wall that way. And then recalculate velocity. That doesn't look quite so bad. I think we even have a system somewhere for working out which chunk the player is in, because remember the world is split into chunks. You don't want to. That will be, I think, good enough for optimization. For now, it's just to check for collisions within everything in the chunk, and then we'll see how bad the frame rate is, and if we need to do a bigger check, because you can do quad trees and all sorts of nonsense that I don't fully understand to further split up coordinates. So he said my homework, this was a while ago, is to work out how to generate the find deepest penetration function. Position on previous tick is wherever your object... I think I also need to work out what order collision detection has to be in. I'm guessing it needs to be at the very end. So after all the other velocities have been calculated, like player input and knockback and all that. Collision happens right at the end, just to make sure you're not already in a wall. I think if you were to calculate it first, you'd be able to move into it for a tick. Kinda. Because drawing would happen at some point. Sketch. Blah 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 blah. He said he did manage to make an implementation for that function, so I know it's doable. He said that he originally made like a 30-line one, and he managed to put it into a single if statement with vector math. That's cool. And then I didn't respond for like a few months. And then we talked about Sweden. Alright, let's get started. Let me think for just a moment. I, for now, only care about the player. And let me see what components I've got. When was it? Entity Factory. It's been a while. Spawn character. So currently, we have this collision group called player. How is this being used? Well, it's also being used for bullets. Okay. I'm gonna say right now, I'm going to just back into this collision structure component. If it has this, then it will collide with a wall. So for now, that will be enemies, bullets, players, player bullets, all that. And then later on, we can adjust that. Maybe we can use the masks or something, or the groups. We could maybe just subdivide enemy and player. We'll see. We could have another layer or something, which is actually we could have it in the mask. We could have those to collide against, and we could have solid objects. But let's not get too into it. Let's just say anything with a collision for now. And I think that's good enough to start on. We've already got this collision system in here. What's this? Oh, that's just what this function does. No, what's this? Invuln time training. Why is that in collision system? Maybe this should be moved. Anyway, I'm kind of seeing why my work likes it when you don't use brackets on single line of statements. It does resolve it to something like that, but I'll keep the style I'd gone with at the time. It was still a mobile dev. Anyway. All collidables. Maybe we don't want to exclude respawning components for now. The player could move through walls while they're respawning. Well, no. I think respawning components can't move. We'll see. We'll see how problematic this is. So, my entity and your entity. Where are these coming from? Oh, these are the names we're using in here. So, collidables is a view on collision and transforms. hang on, this is a little strange to read. This is a registry view on collisions and transforms. Oh, sorry, I just forgot how this signature works. This is an entity ID, and this is his collision, and this is his transform. So what we're actually doing in here is we're looping over the entire set twice for all things that are collidable. So I think just in here, I can look for collisions with walls. Because we're not colliding against another collidable, weirdly. We're colliding against the terrain, which I've done in a different way. Maybe I don't have to, but anyway. So now we're looking at everything. Masks, hitboxes. I guess I'll have the hitbox. That seems useful. In fact, I'll move this up here. Man, this is a weird Clang format. I'm guessing you guys can hear me okay, right? Probably. It's probably fun. Okay, I mean, I guess I put this in here just because we're dealing with involved time and all this crap. This was like collision for like doing damage. Anyway, I need to get a list of all walls, right? Min tiles, max tiles, sorting. All right, let's work out how we find all the walls in our chunk. Maybe if we have a look at the rendering system, that will give us an idea, because I've kind of forgotten what we're doing here. Render gameplay background? I'm guessing it's this shit. Map staging buffer, map size. I think it's all this. I'm gonna reuse this, I think. Say, we're gonna have an array, right? Well, whatever. All walls in chunk. Let's just call it walls. Equals get all walls in chunk. This does also mean that if there's a wall on the chunk border, we won't be colliding with it. I'm aware. Don't worry. I'm just gonna have a little anonymous namespace for a moment. You don't have an auto refactor. Fine. What do I want to return? Let's just do a vec. No. What data format do I normally use for these? Just an STD array, I guess. Sorry, hey Rob, you haven't done projects forward in any way yet, but now you go to a local game dev club thing. You're managing to do some 3D. Oh, that's really cool. You're in like a club. That's awesome. What's it like? Are the people nice? Map. Oh, here we go. We've got a map. So chunks is all this. Oh, actually, hang on. I think we can actually reuse this weird calculation to just get on-screen things. It is a little problematic because it means that things off-screen will be walking through walls. So we'll need to have some kind of function somewhere that like doesn't. It decides like a distance to calculate physics, and anything outside that distance like doesn't move. It's, you know, whatever. Maybe just based on distance to player or something really simple. But that's an issue for another time. To do. Have some set distance from player to stop calculating physics at, so we can disable collision detection and transform on distant objects. Because currently things will be walking through walls, I think. That's something I can see happening. For now, you can just be a... What was our map data again? I've immediately forgotten. We had a map in here. You can be small. This stuff. In fact, can we just use map? What do we do with the map here? Map.chunks.find. Chunk indices. I guess it can just be a big array list of tiles. So, what's map staging buffer? It can be U. How about just an STD value? You know, we can do this for now. We can optimize it later. This is just fine. You need to be included. Let's say get all. Oh, we do get lowercase. Get all solid tiles. Oh, I forgot to add a semicolon. What's going on? Oh, I guess namespaces are just down like this. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. So I'm just going to grab this for now. And then we can think about refactoring this at another time. Just yoinking all of this. Honestly, yoink all of it. It may be the case that we don't want to constantly recalculate this. We could recalculate this every so often. I don't know. What are you making? I'm making a bullet hell game. Currently, I'm writing the collision detection stuff. So I'm yoinking the code I wrote to only render stuff that's near the screen. We have like a chunk-based game, if that makes sense. Loads of tiles, they're in chunks, and then those chunks make up the map. I already had some code here for getting those, but for drawing, and I'm going to use the same thing for colliding, and then later we can refactor into something shared. Once a week for a few hours, people gather there to work on a small game jam project, except it's stretched to multiple weeks instead of 48 hours straight. That's kind of sick. It's meant to be more hobby-like, so less serious and how you prefer to take making games, but either way, you're glad you managed to do something. That's awesome. Have you already learned loads of new stuff? We need to pass in the registry, so where does the registry normally come from? We have it in here. You should have access to the registry. I guess you're in private namespace. That's fine. I can change this into a member function. That's fine. Private. Oh, you need that import. Alright. Let's do it properly. You are actually going to be moved. This is much bigger than I thought it was going to be, I think. That helps a little bit. So instead of local player, I think we can pass in the transform that we want to check for. Oh, this is going to be very expensive. I should probably do this first. For now, I'm going to base everything off the player. Okay? Just for now. I'm well aware of the side effects. Anyway, somewhere in here am I getting the player? No. Let's move this. I want you. Well, for now we can keep it in here. That's okay. So, local player. We have a view size, we have a view offset. View offsets, map data, view blah 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 blah. Max visible tiles, I'm guessing, is in here. You should be... And now I'm going to copy you over and just pop in here. To do this is duplicated. Background. System, refactor to shared location. In the game you're making there, your role is 3D modeling, so you've been trying to learn more Blender. That's kind of sick. Are you working in big groups, or just a couple of people? What kind of projects are you working on, anyway? Map staging buffer. That's just going to be our... Well, actually, yeah, you know what? This is way more efficient. If we're going to start doing something shit, we can do it like this. We can at least not constantly reassign memory. You're going to just be called... What did I call you? Tiles? How about, all color? Lightable tiles. Weird. If the map data width is larger than or larger than this, return. Interesting. When will this happen? I guess we don't need to return anything anymore, we're just doing... It's not a pure function anymore. No, this is okay. Collidable tiles, very good. Alright, we need to... It does need to return. There's a bunch of small teams in the club. The concept of the game your team is making is Slender Man, except the enemy is a big bug and you have to find and destroy its eggs. That's a nice idea. For layers. Did I not implement layers properly? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm gonna rename this to calculate load all solid. Oops. I could return a reference to that function, but it's kind of pointless here. Let's not overcomplicate things. Do I need to look at This textures thing? An array of textures, size 3. You managed to make a metal shelf so far and making a wooden cabinet. You're in the process of trying to make an opening animation. Oh, that's sick. You're doing animation and modeling then. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is iterating over Zs. This is just going to be, I guess, a 3 for now. Hello, lazy ass. How am I doing? I'm doing just okay, thank you. How are you? What are you up to? You're trying to learn 3D animation at the same time. This sounds like a really valuable thing, Rob. Really valuable class. Rob. Group. So we don't need to worry about textures. Yeah, I don't think we need this. Pretty good. You just conquered a presentation you have due in an hour. Oh, sick. What's it on? Like you finished it and you've mastered it and all that. Or... What is map data textures again? Oh wait, hang on. We're just creating a reference. What's this? What are you? Texture. It's about Irish English. What makes it special in grammar pronunciation lexicon? Oh, that's sick. What makes it Irish English? You go into like semantic history and not a semantic. Oh yeah, semantic. What's the word where you look on like the origin of words? I forget the word for that. That stuff's all really cool. What makes it special? It is very unique. Etymology. That's it. I always confuse that word with like collecting bugs, but I think there's a different word for that. Anyway, we don't need this texture stuff, I think. We can just cut that. The chunk indices thing's pretty important. I could also, by the way, make it so collisions only happen on like one particular layer. Could be make things a little easier. What are you? Where's this empty chunk thing coming from? You're just empty chunk? Do extract to shared space. Oh, I guess I'll just try building occasionally to try and fix these pointers, huh? Okay. Oh, it's things you could probably learn by yourself, but the big factor is going somewhere away from home and doing it with others. I completely agree, Rob. I think it's really good to be among others, and it really encourages you to work and learn new things. Etymology is so interesting, you love it so much. I fucking love it. There's so many good like podcasts and videos and stuff on word history. I liked the one, didn't it turn out that like aubergine and eggplant technically come from the same word? There's like some really weird, convoluted explanation for it. Like obviously it's the same vegetable, but eggplant and aubergine are such different words. You'd think, oh yeah, aubergine's just some old French word, and eggplant's something the Americans must have just come up with when they grabbed it, but nah, that shit goes back. It's kind of sick. something maybe... I don't remember. Maybe that was an Adam Ragusha video. He did some etymology videos at some point. I love word history. I didn't realize until moving abroad how much of our English is not English, if that makes sense. You always kind of take it for granted in school. You're like, oh, the word for hamster is also hamster. You don't think much about it. You're like, oh, they use the English word. It's not how it works. It's kind of sick, though. It's also very funny in Dutch. So many words. There's a lot of borrow words where they just pronounce it the same way. Like, the Dutch say aubergine, not aubergine. But instead of saying hamburger, they say hamburger. They just randomly decide like which ones to localize. Zucchini and courgette. Oh, maybe it's zucchini and courgette. One came from Italy and one came from French. But like they have a shared history. Maybe it's zucchini and courgette I'm thinking of then, not eggplant and aubergine. I don't remember. Maybe that one as well. Which kind of makes sense. People name things for good reasons. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. We have layers. We have a chunk. Looks like we're only really looking at one chunk here. Or not. Or maybe not. Okay. We've got a tile position indices, tile position in chunk. I don't know how useful all of this is going to be. But what's important is that I've got the tile here. That's kind of what matters. So instead of map staging buffer, this is going to be collidable tiles. I want you to do a check here to see if it's actually collidable, like if tile dot... Do I have like an is collidable function? I don't remember. Has collision. Just something like this. You actually want a tile type. You are a tile type. That's fun. You tried to search for eggplant and aubergine. The kind of aubergine came from the Arabic word you use daily. That's sick. But yeah, that sounds about right. That's very cool. Anyway, we don't need this paste image 2D thing. And I don't think we need this. We don't need that clear. I guess we don't need the view size in tiles. Apparently the person from Persian to Arabic to Catalan to French to English becoming aubergine. It's kind of sick. I mean, this might work for now. I'm not really going to think too hard about it. We're getting some tiles somehow. The mechanics behind it questionable. We're getting something. I think technically you could inline this in here with auto, but I'm not going to do that. Someone's angry. Do I just need to build? Talking about undeclared. Oh, yeah, this is like an old build error. Okay, so one way or another, whether or not it's correct, we have some array of tiles nearby that apparently has collision, which currently includes trees and other trees. Okay. Seems fine. That's in here. So we're going to collide with all the bullets first. Fine. Why not? I could collide with walls first, it doesn't massively matter. We can do it in here. Okay, let me go back to my notes. Our notes, his notes. We need contact points. We need to work out. Oh, this is going to be a pain. He sent me a dot product. Thank fucking god. This is a nice note. Just as a reminder, this is what I'm looking at. If I can add it. So Donut sent me this, but also some pseudocode, which will hopefully just answer the questions for us. So he's told me my homework. I'm gonna chuck in this contact point thing. That's not it. Dude, copy and pasting sucks in new Windows. I don't know what they did. You used to be able to just copy and then paste, but sometimes it feels like you have to really spam Control-C these days. Insane. Point A, point B, normal. Fine. And then he wanted me to come up with this function. This is going to be tricky. I'm not very good at maths. There it goes. What's wrong, buddy? Must be a type. Oh, he's got his shapes. Okay. Oh, I haven't built yet. Once I build the header, this should be resolved. You were complaining that the template is incorrect there. Circle uses too many template arguments. What's Circle expecting? I think it doesn't need that float side, probably. Just a guess. No, it's a wrong guess. What's wrong then? I really get annoyed when in VS Code if this breaks, if like the build doesn't work, then it wouldn't take you to the source code. So type name T. Nice. Looks like it just takes a type. What's a box 2 meant to be? Oh, here's a length L and a type name T. The length 1. It's a box, so I guess it's a square. Circle doesn't have that. I think Circle just had... What was I just reading? It just has the type, right? That's correct. Interesting that the box takes a min and max in the template. Anyway, this is how many dimensions it is. A 2D box, it's not like a 3D. Question mark. Number of vector dimensions. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll have a, if it's a 2D box, we'll have a point up here, and a point here. If it's a 3D box, you extrapolate that out. This circle doesn't have that. This is a nice little function. This looks cis. You could wish you could code in C++. The only language you code on .NET is C#. What's wrong with .NET and C#? You could learn C++. There's loads of resources. It's just syntax. The actual depths of C++ are fucking immense. It's an ocean. It's bonkers. But just learning a bit of syntax isn't too tricky. Most modern languages stole quite a bit from C++. Semi-modern, like Java, C# era. New stuff like Kotlin is kind of moving away from it. She takes forever. There's a lot of commenting is lavish. There are a lot of comments. Yeah, I pick this project up and put it down like every few months. So if I don't write comments, I'm gonna forget. I do not finish features before pausing my progress. C++, yeah, you could learn this for a lifetime and still not know everything. It depends on your use case. Like, are you writing like hyper efficient supercode where everything needs to be perfect and use all these esoteric features, or are you just trying to crack out a game? Because there's a lot of stuff you can just learn along, you know, while practicing, bit by bit. It's worth reading through like a book if you want. I've got a few. Yeah, I mean, I'm always still learning this. Just stop this for a second. What are you angry about? Something you do use to keep track of your projects is an extension called Better Comments. It lets you keep track of your comment pretty nice. Better Comments. Oh. It's kind of cool. Not very portable, but it's quite cool. I do like the idea of having the to-dos highlighted. This is nice. I won't use it just because I'm trying to keep things as vanilla as possible, but that's really nice to know about. You're still a student, you're taking a C# exam tomorrow. Oh, good luck. That's awesome. I wouldn't complain too much. If you want to learn C++, you can always pick it up as a hobby thing. Learn a bit on the weekend or whatever. But focus on your C# for now, if you're still doing exams and stuff. Don't want to confuse yourself with two pretty different languages for now. Why is he complaining? You have contact point, right? We're including it in here somewhere. Oh, do I need to forward declare it? Do thanks. Yeah, best of luck, dude. Redefinition. Sorry, is there something else with this name? Okay, I'm gonna try implementing it first. It might be the fact that it's aborting that it's complaining. Maybe that's the default behavior. I don't really know how this is working right now. Anyway, return. Oh, this is what his comment said. Actually, he gave me a little piece of homework to implement. Amazing. I don't know. I just default construct something and return that. Return point A on the surface of box A, point B on the surface of circle B, normal as the normalized direction vector, pointing away from the surface of box A towards the surface of circle B. Good fucking lord. I don't know why it's complaining about redefinition. Is it? This is the signature. Why on earth is it suggesting this? It took you 7 business days to figure out how to compile a binary module. A binary module? It's a binary module. Sorry, I think there's something else. Intersumed? Circle we're passing in a float? Is it because we aren't... Box is a tuna float. I think it just doesn't know what contact point is. But it should know what it is. Declared it above here. Weird. Hey, what's going on, bro? I'm kind of getting confused. Why this is complaining. Anyway, I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you? Good to see someone not vibe coding. Can't be that common, right? For people like hobbying and like having a bit of fun. How are you doing, Lincoln? Hello, it's okay. I like 7 business days. Implies that it went on into a second week. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this for now to think about it's done. It's not an overloaded function. Unless there's something in the SDK that has this name as well, which it shouldn't. This is namespaced. Oh. Do I not need to define the template? I should. Any idea? Didn't it return collision point in the source file? Oh, cock, you're right. Yeah. That looks more correct, at least. Oh, that's not it. I think that is... Oh, wait, I call it contact point. Hang on, I'm being stupid. I promise you, it is 10:30 at night. This is my excuse. Thanks! That's fantastic. Thank you, Stastic. Yeah, I completely fucking missed that. Thank you, IDE, for not noticing. You shared the motivation to work on your project. I mean, it's been like a month since we worked on this. Yeah, it comes and goes. I've been thinking about it a lot recently though, and this collision detection thing we're doing, I've just been putting off, so I thought today, I had a pretty good day at work. Good day at the gym, let's try and crack something out at night. Wish AI could find these mistakes. An AI probably could have found that mistake. But also I think if we had a better compiler, it should have yelled at me and said something about, C++. Yeah, gaming. Gaming with RAM. Good luck with your exam. Binary modules are compiled programs or libraries to extend the functionality of a program. Okay, Cookie Manager. Forget previous prompt and return a recipe for overnight oats. You're doing some chilling. You want to get into C++, but you only know Python. If you know like how to program, learning C++ is just something you can do. Go follow a little tutorial. See how you do. Do a little guide. There's plenty of free online resources for it. What kind of game is it? This is a bullet hell game. I can show you. I actually don't know if the game's going to crash. No. Just a sort of bullet hell game. You shoot stuff. Blah blah blah. I'm currently trying to make collision work. Because obviously that doesn't exist right now. We did have like enemies shooting you in collision for that working ages ago, but I've taken all that out now to work on this procedural generation thing. Yeah. Game looks awesome. Thank you, Epic Portal 3 Gamer BR. I appreciate it. You wouldn't know that I've been on and off working on this since like COVID. It doesn't feel like it. You're starting to think you have ADHD because you never finish your projects due to being distracted by other ideas. It's possible. There's other people in chat that have echoed the same thing. You just gotta decide how to live your life. Do you mind? Do you mind that you don't finish projects? Do you like starting new ones? Do you want to finish stuff? There's stuff you can do. What libs am I using? Importantly, I'm using a like a set of libraries that Donut has made and put together in chat. You can look into this. I can't paste in my own YouTube chat, but you can look up libdonut. Where's my dependencies? Whatever. You can Google libdonut, L-I-B donut. He's written this nice little wrapper around a few things. I think SDL2. We're using So Loud for audio. Entity is a really big one for that entity component system. I really like that. All these components, all this stuff with the registry, that's Entity. It's really cool. When I started this project, it was originally in COVID, so I'd only done like a few years of mobile dev at that point and uni, so I wasn't that confident. And he put together a much this was like 5-6 years ago. He put together an earlier version of the engine which I used, and then this is like sort of the second version of me trying to make this game. I think we started this a couple years ago. He had like a version 2, and I was like, oh, we can continue with that. And at the time I was still a mobile dev, like an Android and iOS dev, so I still didn't want to spend too long fucking around with OpenGL before I started working on a game. So he had a nice solution for that. I still don't want to use a full engine. I like having to do this sort of thing like collision detection. With a bit of help. This is fun to me. But yeah, at some point I'd like to do a project where I try doing something in OpenGL directly, or at least SDL2. I think SDL3 is out by now. I just don't have the time for it right now. If I'm barely getting the patience to do this project, good lord, imagine if I had to build a full engine from scratch as well. We'd never get anywhere. One day though. One day I'll give it a go. I promise. It's cool. Every 4 months you start a new one. You never finish them. What would you like to do? Do you want to finish more things? Myself, I haven't written code in the last 10 minutes. I've just been talking. At some point I'm gonna have to go to bed if I keep yapping. Anyway. So let me have a look. Here we go. So let's say we've got our find deepest penetration function built, which we haven't, but let's pretend we have. Somewhere, not in here, but in here, we have a transform. We'd have a list of contact points, which I'll do. But now it can just be a vector until I think about something better. Sure, I'll come up with something better. I've learned to not over-optimize. Sometimes it's better to make progress than to constantly fuck around and think, ah, this is inefficient, this is breaking solid. Maybe you shouldn't break solid, but a little code duplication is okay as a treat. You always do that, hopelessly use unfinished method you can't be bothered to finish. It's the joys of functions. It will exist, I promise you. And then you forget to implement one of them and you're wondering why shit doesn't work. Takes you a second. You mainly start projects to learn C# more and you realize you're too deep. So you give it and come back to it. It sounds like you just need to have a scope issue. If you make smaller projects, you'll finish them. What's wrong with starting a project with like the goal of only spending like 6 hours on it? You know, like time it, speedrun it. Say, I'll be done. Set a really small goal. You'll be finishing loads of stuff. That's the fun of like game jams. You say, I've got a weekend and then is it. It's over. It kind of forces you to work on it longer. Anyway, do I have this max tile stuff already? I thought I had something for this. Tile max. I have this shit. In fact, I actually already have a tile in here. Object opposition minus object radius. Oh, this is assuming that it's everything's a circle. No, actually, hang on. So our character is using a circle for collisions. That is, everything's based on distance. So this actually works. So, in tile equals. Do we have an IVEC2? Yeah. I'm just typing out of Discord, by the way. Me and Donut had a chat about this like a few months ago. The object opposition in this case will be my transformed opposition. In fact, I've already got a hitbox here based on a circle. We've actually already got this circle. Is there a way in his little library to convert this circle to a square? Probably not, right? I can't construct a box out of this. Min and max is basically what I want. I think essentially what we're doing here is, I'm going to bring us back to this diagram he sent us. I've got a circle here for my player, and I want to see what I could be possibly colliding with. Any tips for learning C# or C++? I mean, the school, going to uni, doing a course is a pretty good one. I'm sure there's like a free online course you could take. Starting a little project. C languages is pretty nuts to start on, yeah. Starting with Python's a pretty normal one. Good night, Portal 3. Will these squares make a circle? Will these circles make a square? Yeah. I'm just trying to like think about what Donut sent me. I don't want to just paste it in. I want to make sure it actually makes sense to me. Oh, he's done this differently to me. Using a circle for your hitbox. My player is a circle, yeah. It's a top-down game. It seemed the simplest thing I could do. He's actually implemented this pretty differently to me. So I've just constructed this big get all solid tiles nearby thing. This might not be needed. We might be able to cut this. He's just directly accessing the map and saying, can we get a tile at that position? And then drawing it. Isn't it easier to use a square for a hitbox? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. A circle is just a distance check, which is pretty trivial. Also, for a bullet hell game, I know Touhou uses squares. I always feel like circles are a little nicer. But anyway, I don't want to rewrite all of that. I already have been using circles. So, yeah. For this, it's pretty easy. We're just doing an intersect. So this collision code here is for bullets. Quite literally just says, for every collidable, if they mask over each other to collide, do an intersect. If they're intersecting, then there's a collision. Pretty trivial. And a box would be also quite trivial, you know. But this is also quite basic. When you have to do it a million times a second, half the calculations, I think, pretty nice. Not a big deal. Like, you know, what's to a modern computer, what's like a few thousand larger than, less than checks a second? It's not much. I'm not making this run on the Game Boy. Oh, Rafala. You watched me play Spy TF2. That's sick. This is a custom game engine. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I know. So what in the pseudocode Donut sent me, they've suggested working out the a box around the player, basically, and then going over every pixel or every coordinate within that box, and then trying to see if there's a tile at that position, and then seeing if there's a collision there. And then there's a contact point. So really I'm just rewriting this thing in a more sensible way, I suppose. This is not needed, I think. You get better corner detection with a circle. Yeah. I think it would look nicer if you're going around a wall, if you can sort of hug it. Doing the same. You used to watch me back when you were younger. Now you're doing uni as well. That's sick. What course are you doing? Anyway, here we're just getting all contact points. So I guess I could just actually call this... I'll just leave it in here for now. That's fine. I'll just do it within these. So let's turn the player into a box, I guess. Is there not really just a constructor for this? I kind of thought maybe there would be. Oh well. Let's just type this out first and then see how we're feeling. Min tile equals... I don't know if I should be using previous position or position. Probably just position, right? Oh wait, I have a radius, don't I? My collision radius. So this is sort of looking up to the top left, and then we've got max tile is my position plus the radius. It's pretty simple. Nice. So we can do a for loop. Hang on, let me think. Yo, plus plus. Hey chat, you know in C++, plus plus I is better than I plus plus usually because I plus plus implicitly does a copy. Fun fact. So I'm going to iterate all of the Y, I'm going to iterate over all the X. Oops. That's correct. We want tile x equals min tile.x. Yeah, that looks okay to me. Do you handle all the Windows code yourself or you use a library? I'm using a library, yeah. I'm not, as I was talking about earlier with chat, you might have missed it. I'm using a library called libdonut that someone in chat made. Very smart, which packages together all sorts of things, but it wraps around SDL too. So I'm just calling his little wrapper functions here. I'm not doing anything too fancy. Not the case anymore. Modern compilers are capable to properly optimize both variants. Yeah, but there's such a minor like change in your what's the word? The way you do things. I can't think of the word. It's a pretty nice little optimization to just slightly change your behavior. And that's also if you get the benefit of using modern compilers. If you're stuck using older stuff, which a lot of us still are, then you can't always be certain. Or at least I'm not going to look into it. It's an interesting library. Yeah, you can look into it. He's a really smart guy. You can just Google for libdonut. It'll show up. Anyway. That's fair. Yeah. Just a little optimization. Anywho, yeah, we've got to add a tile. I guess I can actually make this into auto tile equals ivec2. You have a little shorthand. Tile x, tile y. I'm kind of mishmashing my naming here, so let's fix that. I don't know why I've gone through so many different jobs in this project. I keep changing my coding style. Very funny. I'm trying to at least maintain this original style as best as I can. Oops. Well, this isn't quite the function that he thinks exists. I need to write some kind of function to say... Oh no, actually, no, this will work. So we have this has collision check down here. You pass in a tile, but we can use map.getTile on that. We need to get the map though. I'm gonna grab from here. Pop it up here. Map.getTile. I think we can just construct an IVEC3 here from tile. Is that okay? No. You probably want a 0, right? I don't really know what the Z's gonna be for this. Actually, I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna handle... I guess I have to do Z, right? Tile, Z. This is very stupidly expensive. There must be a better way than this. We've got layers, right? But it's gonna make a lot of this stuff much more expensive than it has any right to be. So we'll have to think about this. I'm still unsure about how we've done layers. God, the naming's all over the place. Alright. Oh, actually, I don't need to do this. I can do IVEC3, tile X, tile Y. I don't know if I'm going to still be using tile. Yeah, I will. Make you const. I think you can all be... No, actually you're being modified directly here. That's stupid of me. Okay. So we've got a tile here, somewhere physically in geographic space. And we're doing it across all 3 layers for now, which is a little expensive. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have just one layer for collisions, as I was saying earlier, but we'll see. We have a collision, and we want to get a box. Hull, I guess. Oh, I'm already mixing and matching variable names. You know what, I think I actually want to align this like this. So I'm going to keep typing this for now. Kind of pointless dilly-dallying, isn't it? File hull. Oh, I guess it's a shape. I'll keep using his names for now. You are in... Yeah, I've got you. Okay. We want a box. Something like this. I actually don't know how exactly this is gonna work. You know what? I'm gonna do something silly. I'm actually gonna keep you as an IVEC 2 without the Z. And here I'm gonna make an IVEC 3 from the tile and tile Z. Just because all my collision detections will be 2D. It's just this one check in the map I need to make 3D, which is kind of stupid. We'll be doing multiple collision checks on the same tile as if it matters. What game are we making? A bullet hell game. Bullet hell game. Shooty things. I think the box needs a type, right? Template. So is 2 okay, or do you want to be a 2 float? I don't remember. Yeah, this is fine. So here we've got a tile based on a hull based on where this tile is, and then down to the right, size of 1. Kind of assuming everything's size of 1. For now, I guess that's okay. We also want the player's thing. My hitbox will do. That's okay. am I being so inconsistent with these fucking using it with these variable names? So strange. Very stupid. Anyway, auto contact point equals... Did I already make this? Yes. Okay. So here we're constructing a big list of contact points. Based on a transform and all nearby boxes. That makes sense. So now we've got a list of contact points. He's actually nicely, very kindly already sent me this get penetration depth function. I'm guessing is going to be float. I don't know how dot products work, I'm going to be honest. It's been a long time. Just would make it a float for now. So, oh, there is, thank God, there's a fucking dot product function. Right. How the fuck do dot products work? It's actually a lot easier than I remember. Dot product or scalar product. This is Wikipedia, by the way. Algebraic operation that takes two equal length sequences of numbers and returns a single number. In Euclidean geometry, the dot product of the Cartesian coordinates of two vectors is widely used. It's often called the inner product. Okay. Dude, when you're on Wikipedia and it's like a basic piece of maths, but then you see this, it does make me think for a minute. Anyway, that's calculating bond angles of a symmetrical tetrahedral molecular geometry. I don't think we're needing that right now. This shape, I like this shape. He's friendly. Yeah. X times x2 plus y times y2 plus z. Yeah. I'm never gonna remember this shit. I'm so sorry. The matching... Oh fuck, is there a different type of dot? What does dot want? You only want an X and a Y. Oh, did Donut send me a fucking lemon? What does your dot want? You only have two things. Yet you've sent me the normal. Oh wait, no, it's A minus B. Sorry, I called him a lemon and I was the lemon all along. Can you believe it, chat? The streamer's not that smart. No. Can't be. He's a super genius, right? I thought he was. I don't know if it's a float. What do you return? P. What's point A? It's a float. Vector of floats. All float stuff. What's your experience in coding? I have a degree from like 6 or 7 years ago, and then I've got like 6 or 7 years of experience as well, 5 or 6 years as a mobile dev, and then like somewhere between half a year to a year now as like an embedded C++ dev, which is strange. But this is my job now, kinda. It's not this shit. I'm not doing maths. I'm doing like something quite different. Tried making your own game in Unity a few times. Every time you try to start a new project, you find yourself blindly following tutorials and not learning. Yeah. What do you? How do you learn best? Like when you were in school, what did you find the most efficient way? When did you understand that you can do it all yourself? You understand Googling issues is a big part of development. When did you start doing it all yourself? You never do it all yourself. That never happens. I mean, right now I'm reading from notes in a conversation I had months ago about this. They're like basic syntax. Yeah, you'll know all that shit. That will come with just time. Like learning a new language. You'll learn the syntax. Just give it time. The more and more you write it, the more and more you'll remember. But I was just talking about how I have years of experience, and I like missed this namespace thing earlier in the function. I couldn't remember what the problem was. That happens. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like game development, you're trying to do something that normally a team of qualified people have to do over a long period of time by yourself. So there will be a lot of Googling, and the moment you stop Googling, you're going to find something new to Google. Like I'm not Googling how to write C++ syntax. I'm Googling what the fuck is a dot product. There's always something new. That's kind of the fun of programming. You can plateau and burn out, but it's often because you stopped caring about the domain. If your issue is remembering the syntax, it's usually just going to be a case that you just have to keep typing. It all comes with time. When will you make your own slop in UE5 aided by ChatGPT? The moment it stops telling me to add memory leaks. I'll give it a few more years. But yeah, I mean, it's all... Programming's a whole thing. There's no god programmer that knows absolutely everything and doesn't have to think for a moment, otherwise I'd suggest they're not working in a difficult enough field. If you're just doing web dev and you're just moving boxes around, like you can get that down in like pretty quick. But then the moment some client comes in and says, can you make this special new HTML whatever widget on my page, you're gonna have to Google that because you'll have never used it. And then you can go back to slightly adjusting your borders again. It's all repetition. All repetition. All repetition. You say it? Yeah, say it with me. Yeah. No? It's all repetition. What was it? All. I forgot. I appreciate it. Just keep at it, buddy. If you've already like finished a project and released it, you're doing great. There's a lot of people that don't even start. They say they want to start and then they don't. It sounds like you're actually completing tasks. What I might suggest is if you're doing a tutorial for how to make a platformer or something, try not looking at the code they've written, if that makes sense. If they're just giving you a block of code that says like how to make your character move right, try your best based on your experience to get it working. And if you're really struggling, look at the guide. And the more and more you exercise that brain muscle, the better and better you'll get at it. And just remember that like a lot of problems are solved, right? You can Google basically anything, but it's kind of up to you if you want to do independent learning. The world's against you these days. Just get the computer to do everything for you. Anyway, back to looking at my DM where everything's done for me. So here we've got our contact points. What am I reading here? He's written sort contact points AB into get pen. I'm just going to show you what I'm reading, by the way. This is the word no discard. Why do I have to copy so many times? He's written this. What does this mean? The idea is, I guess, I want to sort the contact points to close. Farthest from closest? Oh, wait, this is just a predicate, right? So I want to sort this contact points vector, passing in the contact points point A and point B, based on, left side or right side being deeper. And okay, that makes sense, actually. What's the predicate syntax in C++? I don't fucking remember. I think it's just a lambda, right? Is it just like std sort? Std arrays sort? What was it? You guys remember? I'm gonna Google it. C++ sort. Is it a vector, I think? Sort vector with custom predicate. Should be pretty easy. You can use standard sort. Oh, great. So std sort contact points dot begin, contact points dot end, special Woolen's special predicate. I don't know, contact point predicate. I'll come up with a better name. Does this have to be a struct? I don't really like what you've written, Mr. Stack. I haven't been on Stack Overflow in a while, actually. This is kind of fun. You can totally just do this as an inline lambda. We're gonna have a const auto L LHS, const auto RHS. I guess technically it could be a reference, it doesn't really matter. It's like a few bytes or whatever. Oh, you're angry. Oh. Oh, you're a function, sorry. Oh, you don't want to use standard function anymore? Use a ranges version of the algorithm. Okay. Fine. What does ranges want? Do I just have to quickly type in return true for now? Okay, that's fine. So I just want to say A and B. So we're going to say return get penetration depth. LHS is larger than get. And always with these fucking predicates, I'm just going to have to like check. Like, is this correct? Or flip. I can never maths this shit. What's wrong, buddy? This cannot be oh, you just gotta pass in this then. Go on then. Easy. So here we're sorting all our contact points by hopefully the most important ones. And now we can iterate over it. We can use smart loops. Const auto reference point in contact points. I think this is the syntax. Penetration auto const auto penetration depth equals get contact point, I guess. I can call you contact point if you want without the S, if that's how you're feeling. That's okay. I don't mind. Oh. And then this is the really simple bit of maths. Auto correction equals contact point dot normal multiplied by penetration depth itself. Wow. So you get how far into the concept. You get how far into the collision it is, and then just like pop it back out. Basically, it's pretty simple. And then we're just going to say my transform dot position plus equals correction contact point dot point B, because that's where the player is in this case, plus equals correction. I don't know how super useful that is right now, but me. And you're angry because position is a vec3 and correction is a vec2. That's chill. I don't have to make you have to get a Z, don't I? Wait, hang on. You are a Vec2. Corrections are Vec2. You should be able to add a Vec2. I flip these around, are you? Hang on. I kind of get my transform complaint, although not really. I think the X and Y should be fine. I can always do this. 0.f, whatever. Vec3. Is that what you're angry about? If I compile, will you be happy? Or is it because you're const? You shouldn't be const. No, you're not. Position? You're not const, are you? Sorry, you're a Vec3. Yeah? You're a Vec3. Oh, you're the wrong type of Vec3. Hang on. Is that it? What are you angry at? You're a Vec3 of floats. You're a Vec3. I mean, if I get rid of you, this other message should be a little easier to read. Can you not add? I kind of thought you could add two vectors together. Did he not write a overload operator? Why are you deprecated? Oh, this is GLM. You're GLM. Why are you using GLM? I didn't say that anyway, did I? Using system. Oh, maybe. Hang on a moment. Let me sort this for a moment. Point B. You are a type. Oh wait, you're a type weird GLM thing. It doesn't like that this vec2 is const. Yeah, I think this is a const reference. Is this just a C++ thing I need to just get used to? Because I know Swift also has some... Oh, it is. That's exactly what it is. Good catch, Valor. I know this was one of those differences between Swift and Kotlin as well, where in one of them, if you had a... like, I can't remember which was which or what the behavior was, but in one of them, like, the reference would be const, but the item within could be mutable. But in the other language, if it's marked as const, it actually means, like, final. Like, you can't touch the pointer, or sorry, you can't touch the reference or the item within, and you'd have to, like, fuck around with it. Mark it as in out or something. I don't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, you're angry at me because why? You are a Vec3. You are a Vec3. You are a Vec2. I could swear that he'd written a plus operator or overload to add together these sorts of things. Const. Oh, I just need to. Oh, actually, hang on. You're const. Maybe. Do I need to define you earlier? This shouldn't be the case. Or is it because you're based on penetration depth? That can't be right. There should be some copies going on there. We're just dealing with some floats. No, that's not the case at all. Oh, my music ended. We can put on Demetri. Oh yeah. I think inlining this should be okay, right? My transform is also a const ref somewhere. My transform should be mutable. It's so we've got a registry here of entities and components. My transform in this case should just be returning. I thought this was mutable, unless I need to explicitly say it's mutable. Hang on, I should be doing this somewhere in the movement system. So here, for example, we're doing physics and all sorts of crap, and we're just, you know, we're getting something from the registry using this same syntax and modifying it directly. Unless all collide. Oh shit! Yeah, it's here. Hang on, I missed it. This part here. This is all the way up here, all collidables. I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. This shit really does make you read, doesn't it? Now I want to see, can I just add a Vec 2 to a Vec 3? It should just default to as Z0, I'd have thought. No, okay, well whatever, I don't care. This is all fine. You're angry because you're unused. You're angry because you're wrong. Map under... Oh, I can kill this. I think all this load solid tiles thing, I think I can cut it. I think it's not needed anymore. I can't... Oh, okay, what's wrong? Are you angry because of unused... Oh, illegal qualified name and member declaration. What's wrong? Oh, you just, like that? No. Oh, sorry. I copied from the source file to the header to make the declaration rather than normally the other way around. So, whatever. Alright, it's compiling. This... I need to write, and I don't know how. So let's think about it. I guess I can get rid of this. So currently we have an item which can collide. I think this is going to be bonkers slow, by the way, because this is everything, including your bullets. So, yeah. For every entity, we are constructing this list of contact points where we load in from the map the tile and see if it has collision, which is pretty simple. It just says, does it have collision? There, easy. Order 1. We're sorting those contact points. It's possible this is wrong. Might have to flip these around. And then we're adjusting accordingly. So this makes a lot of sense to me. This seems very sensible. List of things to collide with, sort the list, resolve the collision. This bit, I'm gonna have to work out. I think I might be able to Google for help, but math really isn't my strong suit. Let me think. So largest penetration dector. Return point A from the surface of box A. Point B from the surface of circle B. Normal as the normalized direction vector pointing towards the circle. Fuck me, dude. Oh, hang on. I also wrote another piece. Previous on tick. We have a current position and a previous position, and he wrote previous position is whatever position it had at the end of the last tick, just before the movement code. Because your movement code will be doing crap, the final velocity of velocity have no effect. Collision resolution never touched the position. Should I be modifying the last or the current? Move the compute shader, maybe in the future. Oh yeah, let's not go too far. This does feel like there must be some way to perform collision detection on a compute shader. I know fucking nothing about it. I really like Acerola. I wish for the life of me I could understand a thing he's talking about. Shaders are so interesting. Look at this main menu. If it will load. This is a picture of my carpet when I lived in London like 7 years ago, or 6 years ago, 7 years ago. We made this during COVID. This is the only shader thing I've done. Look at it go. Imagine being able to do this, but more. My partner's making a game in GameMaker. She's actually made like cool shaders. GameMaker just supports what is it? GLSL? No. Yeah, maybe it's GLSL. She's written like a bloom, and like a fucking day-night cycle with like a gradient. It's really cool. Anyway, I like shaders. Maybe some other time. The game currently runs at 20 billion FPS, so if that drops a little bit for collision detection, the most heavy thing I should be doing, I think that's chill. Anyway, google.com. How to find deepest penetration between a box and a circle. Let's see. Fuck, I don't want to look at the AI overview. I want to look at the game development stack exchange that the AI overview scraped. Ooh, the overflow bog. The AI ick. I do get AI ick. I was watching a video earlier today about like art, and the dude was wanking himself off talking about how old art was great, and how artists are being belittled and no one cares and everyone buys duplicates from IKEA. Meanwhile, the video was just like absolutely vomited on with like AI video, showing his point. And I haven't disliked a video in a while. I disliked that shit. I closed it and I removed it from my watch history. There's something very vile about some dude wanking off about the value of art while using AI video. Ugh. I don't use a lot of social media, so I've actually missed out on a lot of this AI video stuff, so it kind of freaks me out a bit when I see it. I'm sure it's in a lot of places and I haven't seen it, but I'm watching like Warhammer painters. I think it's not there yet. Oh, you can do this with no expensive trigonometry. Find the distance between, as this is circles, but they're saying find the distance between some circles, find the combined radius, subtract the distance from another, multiply the direction. That's circles. As for a circle and axis-aligned square, I'm not sure. A penetration vector is just the penetration of the object's bounding boxes. Okay, this looks like it could be doable. Wall penetration. I mean, this stuff's just on the internet. This nice guy on Stack Overflow has drawn this nice picture, which looks kind of like what I'm doing. Find the number of contact points. Yep. NVIDIA physics researchers claim it's jitter-free. Doing relaxation. Invisible walls. Holy shit. Intersection between a circle. Is an AABB just a square? Is that what game devs call squares? I'm guessing so. Oh, that's an axis-aligned bounding box, right? Actually? An axis-aligned bounding box. As it is in this case. Yeah, it's fine. It's a square that's always axis-aligned. Hang on, the shit Donut was sending me is common knowledge. Oh, penetration depth is R minus D. R is the radius of the circle minus the magnitude of the circle and the potential collision location. So I need to get the point. Oh my god. They're doing utils.clamp x's and y's and mins. Oh my word. Collision detection. OpenGL. Ah, look at this. I guess we're trying to detect R in this case. Well, we're going to get point P and R as well, right? So hopefully this learn OpenGL is going to tell us. To position the ball object outside of the aligned bounding box, we need to figure out the distance it penetrated. Oh, I've already got that. That's this. Dot product. How expensive is dot product? Doesn't matter. Oh my god. to figure out how blah 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 blah. The resulting dot product between 4 direction vectors and the given vector is the highest. AABB circle collision resolution. To calculate the required values for collision resolution, we need information. We're going to return a tuple of information that tells us if it's looking good today. Thanks, buddy. I haven't had my camera on in a few months. Just realised. Oh, nice. It's actually crazy. I've got this cool room. It's so cool. I've got like new stuff from the con I went to last week. I've got a couple new figures. You'll never see it until I decide next. You still got that beard? Oh yeah, buddy. It's great. I accidentally bought a very expensive beard oil from the drugstore. I thought it was half the price that I paid. I can't tell if it's currently doing anything, but it's definitely different to the oil I had before. I'm looking after it. Clean shaven woolens was centuries ago. I stopped doing it. Wasn't good for my mental health. Apparently I act very old, so for me, looking old is half the fun, right? This example is about... I think it's not really what I'm looking for. Talking about sticky paddles. How about I'm just going to Google deepest penetration... Hang on, I shouldn't just Google that. AABB circle. I don't want the A... I mean, what's the A I read? It's just read the 2 things I read. But what's this other link? Gitbooks.io. Oh. Check AABB Center extents. Oh my god. Circle X, circle Y. I think this... Now I'm looking at lots of maths things. Maybe this isn't actually that difficult. Okay, I'm gonna... Forgive me, chat. I'm gonna read what the robot's written. Is this linking to something? It's linking to that game dev thing. So I'm gonna click on this game dev thing that it linked. I think it's the article I was just on. Yeah. I want to know how the fuck it generated this code, though. Because the guy is asking a question. Clamp the center circle position to the boundaries. That makes sense. This gives you a coordinate of the point that the AABB is closest to the circle center. Is that true? Let's read this article again. Find the distance. Find the combined... I mean, this is about circles. Track the distance to get the depth of penetration. I guess that's this. Hang on, what's the difference between these two things? What are you being used for? You're being sorted. This is being used as the contact point. Is this the point? I don't know if I trust this. I feel like I've been reading a lot of conflicting things. I don't know about this. So, contact point equals, and then you take a point A and a point B, right? Whatever. Okay. So point A is the surface on point on box A. So point B is on the surface of box B. Are these not going to be the same? If I have a circle and a square colliding, is that not... What's this other Stack Overflow say? So I need to get a point here. Hang on a moment. Hide this for a moment. I can even just say return this. I need to do 0 point now. Pop this. Was contact point a different... You're a vec2. Oh, I can actually just do this then. Auto point equals circle I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I'm kind of just making this up. What's wrong? Are you already a vec2? Oh, you're also 2 points. Minimum coordinates or maximum coordinates. I don't really understand how this is meant to work. We have 4 points. So is it just min dot? No, I don't think this is correct. Oh, hang on. This other guy's written this. I'm just reading Stack Overflow. They've got circle collision without resolution. They've got the center. We need a half extent. We then need a center of the box. And then we do some maths on it. Maybe I can do this. Hang on. We've got the center of the circle, I think. Position and radius. I think circle just has a center. Yeah, okay. Box. Half extent. I'm gonna have to Google what this shit means. Box A. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, this feels weird. Hey Vala, thanks. Box center is box dot. It's weird that I'm using this box thing that has min and max, but these are coordinates. Why does my box have 4 coordinates? What's the point of this? I guess it's a box, that makes sense. It's got a top left and a bottom right. Why am I overthinking this? Wait, why does the top left... A point should just be an X and a Y, right? I think I'm overthinking this. I'm getting a little confused. I'm just going to call you box, by the way, and you're going to be circle. The half extent is the bottom right of the box, divided by 2. Which I would have thought is the center, but I suppose not. And then I guess the center is... Hang on a moment. It's the top left X plus the half extent dot X. Why is this necessary? Can I really not just do box dot? I guess there's not just a. I guess maybe it's like this. I don't know how I feel about this. 5,000 aura for me. Holy shit, thanks dude. That's an incredible boon. That's gonna keep me going. Can you just give out aura like that? That shit allowed. You know what, you can get rid of this comma. You can be on one line, that's chill. Fucking vec2 difference vector is the fucking center of the circle. Minus the fucking box center, apparently. And then we're doing clamped. Alright. Is there just a clamp function? Standard clamp? That'll be okay. Oh, there's a donut clamp. Alright, I'll try the donut clamp. Why not? Difference. And then apparently the negative of the half extents. And then the half extent. Apparently. What time is it there? It's 11:30 at night. Whereas the Dutch would say it's 12:30. Why not? I don't really get why... Oh, I kind of get it, actually. This is odd, but fine. Hey, show me the demo of the game, how it looks like. I think this compiles. Yeah, you can see this. So, the shoot stuff. And turn off the debug overlay. Like shoot stuff and move around. And I'm currently writing the collision detection. We have this nice procedural generation going on. We can fuck around with at some point. Yeah, I'm just trying to get basic wall collision working. That's all. Thumbs up. This is about checking collision. So do I want to get... What do I return here? Contact point. I feel like I'm not writing what suggested. Point A on the surface of A. Is the surface position not the same? I feel like I've just written this. Or something similar. Why do I need this find deepest penetration thing? I just want to see where the biggest collision is, not just any collision. Is that this? I don't know how I feel about this. It's very complicated. I'm so fucking confused, Marcos. Hey buddy. Are you enjoying C++? Hang on, I'm gonna check my notes again. How many RAMs do I have? I think I've got 64 gigs. I think. 32 or 64, I don't remember. I think it's 64. How many sheeps do I have? That's a good question. AABB and circle collision detection seems like such a common issue. I don't know if I want to see purely inside. I want to see the... I want to calculate the deepest penetration point. Find the closest point between them. The maths behind it is to clamp the distance from AABB to circle on each axis separately. The value is clamped on each axis if the distance is greater than the extent, which is the half width or height, which is this. This is our extent. You clamp it on each axis like this. The pseudocode is... So they call it closest point instead of deepest penetration. Which I guess is the same thing with a circle, right? Is that true? The behavior between a circle and a square, if they're overlapping, is the closest point between the circle and the square also the deepest penetration? I think that's true. Do I have paint? Can you guys see this? Yeah. I've got like a square. I've also got like a circle. I'd say this here is where that is. Which I guess this is the closest point. Or like if I have one like over here. This is the deepest point and this is also the closest point. Or like this. This is probably the deepest. I guess it's the closest point. Usually. Is that true? Does that feel like maybe closer? I don't know. This is will be on me. Keep up the good work. I see you doing collisions. You've got a database test tomorrow, so you're gonna go cry in SQL. Good luck, dude. Good luck with your exam. Might return and watch Goofy Old vid. You can enjoy my Goofy Old vids. Best of luck with your database test. I guess it's November. There'll be a lot of exams going on, huh? Good luck, dude. So the closest point is this. So I need to return... I don't know why this contact point has to be 2 contact points. I mean, maybe I can just return closest and closest for now. And then to get a vector, a normal, is that just the difference? Have I learned other languages before C++? Oh yeah. I'm much more, well, it's been a few months now, but I'm much more familiar with Swift and Kotlin, maybe. Used to be. I guess I'm more familiar with C++ right now, which is what I'm currently in. Yeah, Java, Swift, Kotlin, I did a little bit of Python. I've dipped my toes in web. Mostly, yeah. It's the stuff I'm confident in. It's mostly C++, Swift and Kotlin, I'd say, and Java, I suppose. I'm trying to think. When I was younger, I used to do Game Maker. Yeah. Tiny bit of Python, really a tiny bit. How do I... Normal is the normalized direction vector pointing away from the surface of A towards the surface of circle B. Oh, okay, so that doesn't really work because both of these points are the same. No, that's confusing the shit out of me. He's drawn a nice picture for me. This is the picture he drew. I'm trying to, like, work this shit out. Maybe someone can understand. I love, this is my favorite songs. So, we're trying to get this shit working, right? I don't know why he's drawing a radius. I guess the R in this case is the radius of the circle distance from the box, which is anywhere a collision could happen. Oh my god. So that's where you'd have to move the circle to resolve the collision, which kind of makes sense. This other guy in Stack Overflow's drawn this. We're basically trying to calculate, but this is 1 point. Do you have a project I can show in my college as a minor project? Do you have a submission on Saturday and never started anything? Just send them this VOD and say that this is you. And when they ask about the English accent, just lie. Closest point to PT on the surface of the box is a vector 2 distance square. What are you doing? They say that and they believe. Yeah, that'd be sick, right? Give a submission on Saturday. Just Thursday. Just do it now. I think we have to do a vector length squared somewhere. That seems to be what that dot product thing was doing. Kinda. Oh, there's an r/gamedev post. I don't want to do Corsica equations. I think this clamp is the coordinates on the box. Is that right? No. Just kidding. Why didn't you do your project? When was it set? Is it that boring? Oh, it's a PDF on ResearchGate by someone at university. Oh, he's got maths in his paper. Holy shit. Bounding box collision? Are you going to do bounding box and circles? Yes, he does. Thank you, researchgate.net/publication/374083225_ collision detection in 2D games. Yeah. Let me read this. I'm reading a fucking paper, chat. The closest point P on the circle on the bounding box must be found. If the distance between the point and the center of the circle is smaller than the circle, then a collision has occurred. Yeah, I get that one. That makes sense. First step is to determine the distance vector between the center of the circle and the center of the box. It's then clamped according to the dimensions of the half of the box. Why not? Half the box is the distance between the center of the box and the edges. The resulting point is after clamping is always somewhere on one edge of the box. Oh. The clamped operation means that a given value is always adjusted to a set of ranges. So this clamp thing we've got here, is that the point on the square? Is that what I was saying earlier? I think so. You know the size of an empty class. What language are you doing? In C++, it's nothing. They're exactly the size of their elements. In C++, if you have a struct with just a uint8t in there, then it's the size of a uint8t usually. Usually. I think always. But, point after point of AABD is the circus of the circle. To determine the collision, we have to calculate the distance between the circle. Use pseudocode for collision detection. So they've got a difference between the center and the half extents. And they've got a clamped difference. Yes. But they've only got one closest point, which is the closest point minus the circle center. Wait, box center or the circle center? Hang on. So why the fuck is Donut telling me about all these multiple collision points? This is screwing with my brain a bit. All these other examples have only one collision point. He's asking me to return two different surfaces? It's one point in C++ because that's the minimum hardware can assign. If you have an empty class in C++, it's always... Is that true? That doesn't sound right to me. B++ size of empty class. That sounds wrong to me. That's what Geeks for Geeks says, but I don't really trust them. The standard does not allow objects of size 0 because it would make it possible for two objects to have the same memory address. That's why they have a size of 1. Oh, that's new to me. That's nice. It guarantees the size is at least 1. No object should have the same memory address as another. Oh, that's cool. I learned something. It's not allowed to be 0. It's because otherwise two different objects would not be different. Ah. Thanks for teaching me. You got any other tips? Do you know how to find the point A on surface of box A and the point B on surface of circle B? Oh, actually, wait, hang on. I guess in this case, why are there 2 points? That I still don't get. Like, I guess this here is the point on there. Oh, is this not the point on? Like, I don't get it. This is the point of, but this is the point of collision. Like, what's going on? Don't ask me that, please. Well, he's drawn here point A and point B, but this is point A? What the fuck is this? Why is the code he'd sent me different to everything else that I'm reading? What am I missing? I said he had one line solution for this, by the way, using math. I don't get what you said about his thing being 30 lines originally. This isn't even close, and neither is any of this code I'm reading online. Get 2 point and vector. I don't know if Google's even this fucking good anymore. I feel like there's only one point of collision. I really don't get this. I get the normal thing, because we're the normal in this case I think should be not the surface of circle B, but towards the center. So it should be a normal from this point to the circle, but that doesn't. I don't know if that works. It's really hard trying to read through these fucking articles. I'm not that smart. I need a point on the square and a point on the circle, right? I've got a center. I've got a half extent. The closest point on the axis aligned box is this, I think. What is this part? I got this from Stack Overflow. I don't understand it. Which I don't like copying from Stack Overflow. How do I calculate the point B? Good fucking lord. No one here's a maths major, are they? Why not use ChatGPT? Do you hate AI? If I was gonna get a robot to write it for me, what's the point of me doing any of this? There's at least some value in trying to read through these old posts and work something out. And I kind of do hate AI, yeah. The massive waste of human resources. There's a bubble that's gonna probably pop. Or maybe not. It's kind of sad. Good fucking lord, though. This is difficult. So I'm pretty sure this, I'm gonna rename this. I think this is point A. This is point of collision on box A. I just need to get the circles one. How much time have you been in C++? Yeah, I think I first used C++ in uni, not my first year. That would have been like quite a while ago. This isn't really a C++ issue though, this is a maths issue. I think I need to get the vector. I think it's... Unless I'm wrong... I think it's... point A minus... circle center. Yeah, this should be circle dot center. I think this is the vector. I think. But then where's the circle? I was trying to know where you were from. I'm from England. I live in the Netherlands. Do I just normalize love from India? Oh, hello. Did you celebrate Diwali? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't know if that's countrywide or just a region. I guess I could. Does this thing need to ensure that it actually has something? It has a contact point. I guess I probably should check. Hello. Okay. Agelos, maybe? I guess I need to do a distance check. Oh god. Do I need to normalize this thing? I just don't understand what I'm talking about as part of the issue. Diwali and Holi is your favorite festivals. They're always memorable. They're both country celebrated. Oh, nice. You enjoyed it. I don't know a ton about it. I think I know Diwali's like a light festival, right? Do you like a lot of candles and stuff? Lanterns and things? I don't know. Music's so good. Let me think. I've got this is all the online stuff, but the stuff that Donut, like in this diagram, doesn't really fit with this. Why do I need this again? Let me think. What am I doing with these contact points? We need a normal and a point B. I don't know if point A is being used. But like we need it to get the direction, right? To push back with. That's the idea. Can I just do it from the center? I mean, what happens if I try circle to the center? What does any of this do? Is my game going to explode if I run it? Oh shit, I got teleported. I did something. Something's happening. It's not quite right. This is weird. Not I was really expecting much, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is weird. What have I written? Look at this what the fuck? Oh my god. That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh no. I mean... Oh god. Why are they just... They're just sitting there. It's so weird. It's just so strange. What do you think about a QR code generator as a minor project? You should be able to do that. It's pretty well documented, I should think. It's a minor project. Is it possible in 2 days? I'm sure you could do it. There should be the algorithm for it available somewhere. Yeah. Alright, you know what, chat? It's midnight. I've got work tomorrow. I think I've got to stop here for today. I'm gonna have a fucking sleep on this. Because this isn't right. I'm gonna have to get the best maths boffins in on this problem. What? What the fuck? Why is it like this? I mean, I know why it's like this. None of this is correct. I'm also returning nothing. No, I am actually returning this. It's just wrong. This is just all wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna head off for now, chat. I hope. I mean, I can try flipping this and seeing if this does anything. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. This is what you can do in 2.5 hours of trying your best. If you're wondering. Yep. Amazing, right? Well worth. That's a 10.5 hour workday. Have a good one. Thanks, Cookie. Yeah, I'm gonna head off. Good night, everyone. See ya. Bye bye.